Welcome to T.O.L Studios, and today in lesson 4 we're going to take the scale that we've been working on the last couple lessons, which was the C major scale. Last lesson in 3 I started to show you the right hand pattern for basically going from a C note up to a C and how to do it backwards. That way we were training our fingers to do the work. Then we explored the left hand doing the same thing from a C up to a C, and then we explored how we went backwards on that one. So again, I want to kind of keep moving forward. If you're not familiar with that, go back and I showed that in lesson 3. Check out lesson 3 and you'll kind of see me break that down a little slower. Today what I'm wanting to show you is just so you can kind of see my fingers do it real slow together. So again, got to make sure you got those memorized. What I'm getting ready to show you, if you're still struggling, what's the right hand do, what's the left hand do, this is going to be hard to do. But when you do them together, you're taking this hand, which when I got to the E I curled under for the F. But on this hand, I would have went up to my C, D, E, F. I still would have went up one more before I had to do anything. So what's kind of weird here, and this is what helped me learn how to do this, the first 3 notes, they're still going to be a little tricky, but I'm going thumb and 5th finger. So my C's, D's, E's. But as I hit F, that's where I curl under. So I just learned to kind of do that as many times as I needed to, so I could get that right. Because again, it's going to feel funny. Sometimes this hand, because it's doing something, it's going to make this one think it's going to turn around and go and change when it doesn't need to. So I'm going C's, or 5 and 1, 4th finger, and my 2nd finger, and again C, D, my middle finger's on the E's, 2nd finger on F, and I'm going to curl under with my thumb. That means I go one more note on my left hand for G, where G is going to be my 2nd finger. So I'll do that again. We've got C's, D's, E is going to be my middle fingers, F with the 2nd finger on the left hand, curl under with thumb for F, thumb on G of left hand, 2nd finger on the G. Now this is where my left hand has to do something. Right hand's already in place, so I'm going to hit the A with my middle finger, but I have to come over with my middle finger for A. So I'll do that again. That gives us C's, D's, E with the middle finger, curl under for F, but left hand didn't do anything. G with the thumb of the left hand. G is 2nd finger on the right. A is going to be me crossing over with my left, but my right hand is already in position, so that's my middle fingers. That way B is 2nd finger of left hand, 4th finger of the right hand. Finish with my C's, my left thumb, and my pinky of my right hand. So again, slowly that gives us C's, D's, E's, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, and again, do this slow. That way it feels weird here, till it gets to the point where you can go. And again, that helps when you're playing something maybe quicker, but again, you should be able to do it nice and slow first. Okay, now when we come down, we're kind of doing the same thing, but we just got to get used to training the hands. So we're going to start on the C's. So basically the right hand's going to come down the first 5 fingers. Left hand's going to have to do something after you get to the middle finger to get it in position to finish. So we've got C's, or B's, and so far my fingers are going in order, meaning the C's is thumb and pinky, 4th finger on B and 2nd finger. A is my middle finger, so we're good till we get to that point. So we got C, B, A. Now right hand can finish 2 more fingers, so G is going to be my 2nd finger, but I've got to cross under with my thumb for G. So again, that gives me from the beginning C, cross under with your left. Don't do anything with your right. There's your G's, my F's, and now I'm on my thumb in my right hand, so I have to cross over for E. Left hand's already in position, so that's my middle finger's on E. Then I've got my second finger in my right hand on D, fourth finger on D, C. So I'll do that one from the high note again. You've got C, B, A, cross under for G, F, cross over with the right hand for E. And same thing, eventually practice these slowly going up till you know you're doing the fingers right every time. Hit the high note again, come back, same thing, make sure you're crossing with the right finger. When you get back here, hit it again. I know it's boring, but the more you do it, see, you don't want to do something like that. You want that every time. Same finger, so if you're trying to execute something fast, you can have that down. Okay? Now, another good exercise, once you take that, I put the hands what we call one octave apart, meaning I started on this C, then I took my right thumb and put it on that C. That's easier when you put your hands together because you can see your fingers closer. Good exercise is to take it down one more C and do the same thing. But see how much farther space there is between them? I was trying to be nice to you. I remember my teacher, not that they were wrong, but that's how the same book I practiced out of, that's how it shows them. As a kid, I learned it's a lot easier if you put them closer. I could look back and forth. It's probably not smart to tell you that, but common sense, you can see it a little bit better. Get used to it, probably playing them closer. You finally get that going pretty good and doing the right fingers. Separate it and start a little lower. But you're doing everything's the same, so I'll mislead you. Just your hands are farther apart. Okay, another thing I'm going to admit, sometimes you'll be watching your fingers. Say if you're watching, more than likely it's going to be your left hand because our left hand's harder. So if you know you're kind of watching your left hand, like I've got it, the right hand memorized, don't get in the habit of just looking at the left. Force yourself to look over here at the right and feel that left. Now remember, do these slower, the speed you need to. If you need to go nice and slow. Okay, but then be looking at your right hand too so you don't get spoiled just looking here. You get both those right, stop looking at your hand. Start looking up the wall. If you got sheet music, obviously you should be looking at your sheet music. I realize we're not really reading music. I'll talk about that more later on too because you should read music. But for the YouTube purposes, it was easier just kind of let you see what I'm doing. But just have your head look straight at the wall, just so you kind of get used to it. Because even if you're not going to read music, you're going to be performing, if that's your goal. You don't want to be sitting there just playing the piano staring at your hands. You want to be able to look up at the crowd. So, again, to kind of recap today's lesson, just put the hands closer at first. Practice those nice and slow. If you do not know these finger patterns, go back to the last lesson to make sure you review these. That way you can follow what I'm doing here today. You get this down, you can play it a little bit better. And again, let speed come, but then move them farther apart. Try it with your hands a little farther apart. Same thing if you're maybe, like I said, looking at your hands. I'm looking at my left hand right now. Do that so many times. Start to look at your right hand. Okay, same thing, you do that so many times. Now you're looking at the wall, just looking straight up. So that way you're feeling it. You're training your ears to hear it, but you're also training those fingers to get used to feeling it. Okay, not that looking you can't do that, but you want to also make sure you're using your ears and your fingers. You don't want to always be staring down because, like I said, whether you're reading music or you're performing, you're going to get stuck looking down and not looking up. Have some fun. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.